Alright, this is about Hal Puthoff and zero-point energy. Okay, so zero-point energy is working right now, and it's being suppressed by rogue elements in the United States government. Specifically John Alexander and Robert Bigelow. Albert, how do you know this? In 1972, the Apollo 14 ESP experiment, Edgar Mitchell, Ingo Swann made contact. They get a textbook on zero-point energy from an advanced civilization from another planet. That goes to Hal Puthoff and Jaques Vallee at SRI. This is 1972. Mitchell opens the Noetic Institute. Vallee starts writing books on UFOs. Puthoff starts reverse engineering zero-point energy. It's working now. Alexander suppresses it. Also, what kept the remote viewing program open is that Ingo Swann correctly predicted 9/11 with name, date, and place in 1972. He tells Hal Puthoff. Puthoff tells the Senate, the Congress, the intelligence community, and then Alexander quashed it, suppresses it. Alexander should hang for treason. He is one of the people who implemented and executed 9/11, the false flag terrorist inside jobs on the World Trade Center. And they're powerful enough to pull it off and get away with it. The reporters are like, oh, the official story? A few Muslims did this, yeah. I know this because I'm the one who told Ingo Swann. I also said that 9/11 live to air on the Art Bell show in the 1990s. This is Art Bell is deceased, but this is known to Lisa Lyon and Ed Dames. Dames knew about 9/11 all those times he was doing Art Bell interviews in the 1990s. So did Art Bell. And they're cross-talking each other, but neither of them will say it live to air. When I got in on Open Lines, I did say it. And Lisa Lyon has the audio tape of that. This is known to Premier. It also went to the FBI. And my other witness on 9/11 is Frank Stronach, the CEO of Magna. He is friends with Bill Clinton. Clinton would come to Aurora and play golf on the Magna golf course. And Frank Stronach told him about 9/11, and I'm the one who told Frank Stronach, the boss of Magna. So the other thing is, this would have to be a deathbed confession out of Puthoff. He's gagged. He's not saying anything now. But my other witnesses from that circle are deceased. Ingo Swann is deceased, and Edgar Mitchell is deceased. The other people who would know specifically about this is Jaques Vallee, Hal Puthoff, and it would have to be a deathbed confession. Frank Stronach would know as well. Then, in 2013, what happens at Ryerson University is the next generation of remote viewing experiments, because I know how Swann did it. Colleen is UAP abducted. She has her own flying car that runs on free energy. She lives on that advanced civilization. When she comes back, she has telepathy. Ramona Pringle, RTA professor, and Robin Doolittle, Globe and Mail reporter. They get a confession out of her. It goes to David Walmsley, the editor of the Globe and Mail, and then he's like, oh, this is true, but the Globe does not write about UFOs. And they quashed it. The other thing Walmsley, the editor of the Globe and Mail, is trying to hide is they had this whole list of forewarnings. The Bataclan Theater list of information, the 3 events in France, the 3 events in Toronto, and Pulse nightclub. Then I also sent the coronavirus warnings to them, which is audio taped by The Review, the Epstein report, Mark Sandler. The virus, Kobe Bryant, Ukraine Jack, Gabriel Wortman. I also sent that to the Globe and Mail. The same people, Ramona Pringle, Robin Doolittle, David Walmsley, the CBC, Catherine Tate, Alison Chiasson. Quite a few reporters are witness, professors are witness, police are witness. And what I said will prove this is put all my witnesses into one room. 5 other women at Ryerson had anomalous human experience. Halen is strong, Shauna is psychic, Maya manifested gold coins, And then Ramona and Colleen are 5. This is the 2013 incident. In 2019, Sandler and Naz record new set of predictions, the virus, then they censor it from the public. 2013, Ryerson has this list of information, and a UAP incident happens. That takes Colleen. 2006, at the IRVA conference, I predict Fukushima, BP oil spill, Tori Stafford, Russell Williams. Dean Radin, the parapsychologist, calls Alexander, and they take the hard copy, nothing prevented. And I also told Dean Radin and all the other speakers on the stage at IRVA, Alexander did 9/11. It's an inside job. And all of them go and hide under their bed and won't do anything about it. And then in 1990, I correctly predicted 9/11, Paul Bernardo. The Toronto police assault me and kicked me out of 40 College Street, and they've been covering this up ever since. It's mostly because they're just incompetent cowards. But correctly identifying the insiders on the 9/11 false flag attacks, John Alexander did it. One of the people who did it, but he would know who and why and how they did it. And Robert Bigelow, and and no one does nothing. No, I send this to the FBI, no reply. They cover it up. They frame some patsy Muslims. Reporters go along with the official story. They move on to their next false flag, Bataclan Theater in France, which I did predict. And I said to the RTA professors, you talk with the FBI, every single one of them pissed their pants, hid under their bed, but they're too cowardly to say they think it's an inside job, a false flag terrorist attack, and that's why they're not doing nothing, and they're just going to cover it up and pretend they didn't hear what I'm saying. And like I said, this is still going on. Voir dire, every single one of those Ryerson professors, put those 5 women in a room, strength test Hayland, psychic test Shauna. There's all the proof in the world you need right there. 0 point energy is working right now. It's being suppressed by rogue elements in the United States government, namely Alexander and Bigelow. And Hal Puthoff, we should get a deathbed confession out of Puthoff, Jaques Vallee, Lisa Lyon, Frank Stronach, Ryerson, and let's go here. You want free energy, or do you always want to be slaves?